Hey, what's up guys? If you don't know who I am, my name is Rav Hawley. And if you saw the thumbnail for this video, you will know that the video is about what I believe is the most underrated SUV 4x4 for overlanding. This vehicle gets completely overlooked. If you followed my channel, AmNomad, then you know what I drive, which is sitting behind me, which is my 16-year-old, 17-year-old, my 2008 Nissan Xterra Off-Road Edition. So basically it's the TRD version of the Toyota or the Pro 4X. The newer Xterras are Pro 4X, but before the Pro 4X, they were called Off-Road, which it's got an off-road badge on the door there. And basically that means it's got a rear locker in it and a few other upgrades compared to a regular Nissan Xterra. It's got fog lights in the front and some other off-road things for basically like a TRD version if it was a Toyota. But everybody wants a Toyota these days. I understand that. If I were to get rid of this truck or if I had to go to something else, I would myself. I love the Land Cruiser 80 series. It's got a solid front axle, unlike this Nissan, which has an IFS, independent front suspension. And as anybody that's off-roader knows, a solid front axle is, you can't beat it. It's just the way to go. But if you're in an IFS, if you're in any of the new Tacomas, any of the new Toyotas, the new Land Cruiser, they're all IFS. And these Xterras, they stopped making them in 2015. The first version of the Xterra and then the second version. And this is the Gen 2. This is the Generation 2. It's a 2008. The Gen 2, I believe, went from 2005 to 2015 when the Xterra was discontinued. But anyway, I've got a lot of questions about my Xterra and a lot of people wanting to see it and how I've built it out for overlanding. So this is what this video is like a tour video. I have my son here as my cameraman in the back.
What's up, and I am controlling everything from the phone.
I'm just going to give a quick rundown of my truck and what I've done to it. I'll try to post some pictures of when I got it. I found it on a lot. It was bone stock. One of the reasons I say these vehicles are underrated is you don't have to pay the Toyota tax. If this truck was a 4Runner, it would be twice as much as it is. I bought this truck one owner with 130,000 miles, I think, but it's spent its whole life in Oceanside, California. It was bought new in Oceanside, California. It was a soccer mom's truck. She had it its entire life, and I got a whole folder. I've even got the sticker, the window sticker that came from the dealership. And I got it on a lot for 7,500 bucks. But it was bone stock. So what I've done to it is I lifted it. I've got metric 35s on there. They're 16-inch wheels. So I've got metric 35s, which are 315 70 R16s or 75 R16s, if I remember right. Nito Ridge Grapplers. I believe they're, let me see. They are, yeah, 315 75 R16s. So these are 16-inch XD wheels, which I also put in here. Like I said, this truck was bone stock when I got it. I've tinted the windows, everything you see I've done to it. I've got white knuckle rock sliders on it. The brush guard, I know a lot of people don't like the brush guards that I have on here, but this is actually a stock Xterra brush guard that came on these. I didn't have it when I bought it. I got one. I like the brush guard. I'm eventually gonna put an off-road bumper on this probably. But this thing is like aluminum, and they call them damage multipliers because if you hit a deer or something, it's gonna mess more up supposedly than if it wasn't on here. But I like it because I have my Light Fox 9-inch lights on here. That if you've seen my videos, I did an installation on there. I have my Retivus GSMR GMSMR antenna on there for my Midland 315, I believe it is, MTX 315, I think, 115, MTX 115 radio. Let's step around this way and I'll show you the seat covers. I actually had these badges custom made for American Nomad Edition. Maybe it's kind of douchey, I don't know, I like them. And I put, my whole thing is kind of American Nomad, so that's kind of the theme I went with. You can see the seat covers unlimited. These seat covers are actually made for the Xterra, which if you get just generic seat covers, you won't be able to lay your seat flat. So if you have a off-road edition or if you have a Pro 4X edition, that front seat will lay flat. So you have to have a seat cover that'll permit that seat to lay flat. If you just get generic seat covers, it's not going to do that. And so let's step around. So I have my Overland vehicle systems awning here. This zips out, it comes out. I ended up getting the awning that comes out this way. It comes this way because I didn't want it sticking way out here. But if I had it to do over again, I like the awning that comes all the way around and covers all of this, because this one doesn't. It comes like right across here. So the driver's door is completely exposed. So if you're in the rain, you're gonna get wet. But I like how it sits under my rooftop tent, which my rooftop tent is a Free Spirit. This is a version 1. They have a version 2 out now, but this is the gold version of the Free Spirit Expedition, I think it's called. I'd have to look at the website, I can't remember. I'll try to put what it is, but there's a new version out there now. This is a version 1 and they have a version 2 now. And if we step around here, oh, I had these window decals put on. Everybody asked me where I got these window decals, and I got them off Etsy. There's a guy on Etsy that actually makes them. I think they were like 50 bucks. The badging I had up there done to match that was like 50 bucks. And so here is what everybody, so here's my Free Spirit tent. Here's what everybody like wants to know about and freaks out about. And that is my, oh, and real quick, I have new struts for this thing that I ordered like 7 months ago. And it literally only takes like 5 minutes to install them. I still haven't installed them. I fight with installing them because you can leave this at a certain distance. And if it's windy or if it's raining, it's actually kind of nice to be able to put this at a different level and keep it at that level. And if you replace the struts, the thing just pops straight up. But it'll keep you from hitting your head. I don't know how many times I busted my head on this thing. But I do have new struts for it. So this is the back system I have for this thing and how I've set it up for my overlanding rig. Put this back in here. So this shelf system up here and the molly panel system, it's all called a orange box. It's an orange box molly panel system specifically for the Xterra. And they're not cheap, but as you can see, I have the top shelf, I have the 2 side molly panels, and then I have the center panel here that holds my electric generator and my Anchor Solix 1000, I think it's called, which powers my IceCo refrigerator and my IceCo refrigerator and freezer. So you can see right here, the left side is where I have my ice cream and stuff, and it's at 7 degrees. And then where I have my Cokes and stuff is at 37 degrees. We can open this up. You can see my Cokes, my Monsters. Over here I have some ice cream sandwiches.
Very much frozen.
Yep, and ice cream. And I have a lot of people that wonder, this runs 24/7 because through here, I have a 200 watt solar panel that's on the roof of the tent. I wished I had like 400 watts, but another 200 watt panel wouldn't fit on the top of my rooftop tent. And the panel that I have, it's the low profile. It doesn't have the frame. It's really thin, but it's still, I mean, it's great. This thing's at 74% right now, and it'll run my refrigerator all the way through the night until it comes back in the morning, until the sun comes back up in the morning. So here's the top shelf. I keep my camping table up here. It slides right in here, and I also use it on photo shoots. I just got through doing a photo shoot for Velro mattresses, is where we're actually coming from. And then here is my cabinet where I've actually got my radio. I've never even taken it out of the box. It's brand new. I had to have it. I've got the antenna installed, but I have coffee in here, sriracha sauce. This is where I keep all of my camping food. I've got paper plates. Oh, and another thing is, see, it may be too dark. Yeah. So I have lights. There's a whole lighting system up as well. You can't really see it because it's not that dark out yet, but yeah, there's lightings, and they work off.
Wow, I didn't see that in this one as well.
They work off remote control. And I got these lights. Let me pull one down. I got these lights off of Amazon. I have two different kinds. So really quick, I'll go through them with you. I bought these first, and these were like $10 for 4 of them, I think. These are like $15 for 2, or I can't remember. They're like $35 or something like that. These are great. These are amazing. And the last time I charged these was probably 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I've been in Texas now. Well, no, it's longer than that, because I charged these before I left California. I left California in December, and it's May. I just charged one of them and put that one back up there. So one did go dead, but it's the one I use the most because it's on this side. But I mean, they're just amazing, and you don't have to wire them in. They charge through USB-C. So I plug them in right here to my electric solar generator and charge them up if they're dead. These are great, but I did have, you know, if you have a minor budget, you're doing things as cheap as you have to, these do work. I will tell you though, I did have a couple of these, the batteries expanded in them. They blew up, the gas blew up in them. And so far, I haven't had that problem with these. And I was in West Texas when it was down to 3 degrees. And it's been 93 here in Dallas today. So I haven't had any problems with them, knock on wood, and there's no wood over here really to knock on. But everybody asked me about this system. It's an orange box system. How much does it cost? They are, for the whole system I have, they're about $1,200. So they're not cheap. And the gentleman that you order them from is kind of like, he's an independent fabricator, so you've got to go to the Orange Box website, but you order them from him and you will get them. It just takes him a little time to get them to you. I will tell you, if you're going to order this middle shelf right here, there's an option for a brace that goes right here that's another $50 or $60 or maybe $100. I don't remember. But I cheaped out and didn't get this brace. And with all the stuff I put on here, this shelf sagged, but even more, it wasn't that it sagged. What really was detrimental is with my solar generator on here, this thing bounced like a damn trampoline. So my solar generator was literally just bouncing up and down. So I had to go to Home Depot and get some pieces of wood to shove in there to keep this shelf from literally just, I mean, it was like a spring, just bouncing up and down. So my recommendation, if you're gonna buy this bottom shelf for your Orange Box system, don't cheap out like I did and buy the internal brace. Now I talked to the guy, I can't remember his name, at Orange Box, and ask him if he thought I needed it. And this shelf is rated for like 300 pounds or something like that. So I was like, well, nothing I have is gonna weigh 300 pounds. But I didn't realize that from here to here, there's nothing holding that. So that shelf, when you put weight on it, like I thought my solar generator was gonna get damaged because it was bouncing up and down so radically. But yeah, this thing is metal, so I keep my beer, my bottle opener, all kinds of stuff on there. I have my Molly bags. I have bags here. So it's just it's been a great setup. I guess I could pull this out so you can actually see the side Molly panels better. Yeah, so now you can see it. So I have matching bags, everything's in duplicate. So what I have here, I have another bag on this side. I have a bag here, then I have a bag here. So I keep all of my stuff in there. And I mean, I freaking love it. This is my air compressor for my 4-tire air pressure system. This is the air hoses. I have a compressor down there. And then this again is my cabinet. So I will say really quick that like with my truck, I have done off-roading. Me and this kid right here back in 2004?
2004, 2003.
Yeah, we were at the Oklahoma OVS off-road park up in Oklahoma. And I used to have at that time I had a D1 Land Rover Discovery that was on 33-inch tires. It had like a 3-inch lift on it. It was lifted, but we were up on the side of a mountain and a tree had fallen down and we couldn't really turn around. So I told him that we had to go over it, and it was a pretty good sized tree. And so I crawled up over the front of it and then was going to crawl up over the back of it. And as the back tires got up on the tree rolled. And when the tree rolled, it spun us completely around, and he tried to jump out of the truck. How old were you, like 11?
Yeah, 11, 12.
Yeah, he's like, if that old. You might have been like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I think he's like 8 or 9.
But I knew I was about to jump out.
Yeah, and he was trying to jump out, so I literally had to grab him and hold him in. But it set us looking off the cliff, and it was like 600 feet down. So, but I gingerly had to get it back and forth, but we were stuck against the mountain because the mountain went up on this side, and then it was a 600-foot drop off on this side. So it was a shelf road, but we ended up getting out of there. But anyway, yeah, so that was, I don't even know why I got off on that story. Why did I get off on that story? But so I did a lot of off-roading in that Discovery. I didn't build this truck for that type of off-roading. I built this truck for overlanding. So that's why it doesn't have, you know, I am gonna get like the spare tire carrier bumper. I'm gonna get a winch bumper at some point. But right now, the way this truck sets, I still get 13, 14 miles per gallon. And I know if I put them big steel bumpers on here, it's gonna drop me down to like 10 miles per gallon. Because just the bumper guard on there, it's aluminum, it's not that heavy. And I may not be getting, I'm probably getting like 13 actually. But if I was in a Land Cruiser, I'd be getting 9. But I know if I put those big steel bumpers on here, it's gonna drop my mileage way down. At some point, I'm gonna do that. But right now, gas is like $6 a gallon, so I'm in no hurry. But again, I built this for overlanding. I didn't build it to go out and try to rock crawl in it, or I'm not even doing trails. I don't really have any interest in doing trails. I've done that. I've off-roaded. Like I said, I did it in my Discovery. I've broken axles. I blew up a differential. I've done all that stuff. I didn't buy that truck for this. I know a lot of people are buying these for trail rigs. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is just a moderately modded overlanding vehicle. I want to be able to get to nice locations to do like landscape photography and, you know, maybe some wildlife photography. Get back into, you know, different places that you can't get without, you know, at least having a four-wheel vehicle that's got some ground clearance. All right, what else is there? I think that's about it. I've showed you guys my sliders. I do have sliders, and I have used them. This slider right here has got a big, you can't see it, but it's got a huge, where I drug across a rock when I was up on top of a mountain. I don't know if Dustin can get there and see it.
Beasts.
Yeah.
Like those are those beasts.
Yeah. And these trucks come, you know, the off-road edition and stuff comes with running boards. So it had those big aluminum tube running boards on it, and I bent it out of one of them. I mean, I bent it pretty good. I still have them, but I bent it, and you know, I see people out on the trails all the time in these new $100,000 Land Cruisers, the ones that just came out. And personally, I don't want to up the bottom of my truck, so rock sliders for me that's a very necessary thing to have if you're going to off-road. If it wasn't for a winch, I wouldn't even really have to have a winch bumper, and I may end up just getting like a winch plate and keeping this, and then just putting my winch on with a winch plate. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do there, but or I probably will get a bumper, because it will give me more clearance, because this bottom piece will go away, and it'll give you more clearance for, you know, getting over stuff. But I don't plan on doing any like major off-roading or, you know, like trail. I'm not running trails or anything in this truck. I mean, I can, but that's not its purpose. It's just a moderately modded overlanding vehicle. All right, I guess that's gonna do it. Oh yeah, I forgot, I was gonna show you guys real quick. So, it's still back here. Last but not least is, you saw my the Midland, so I'm going to be installing my Midland, which is the 115. It is the GMSR, it's the MTX 115. So this is gonna go in the cab of my truck. But I also bought these handhelds, and these have 2 or 3 mile range. So I keep these as well. God, I haven't even charged these in months, and it's got half battery. But I can charge them right here. And I bought these, so like if my son was out there in his Explorer and we were going to the lake or something, but we were going down trails, I can give him one of these, and I can talk to him on my MTX that's in the truck. And if there's 3 of us, I have another one. I have 2 of these. They come as a set. Let's see. And then I'm not gonna really show you guys. I have a camp stove in here. I have my table. I have stuff, everything I need for being out. And I've stayed out, I guess 4 or 5 days. I was up on top of a mountain out in Southern California, Big Bear. And I was out there with my tent, everything for 4 or 5 days by myself. And you know, so I'm trying to get this to be able to be out at least 6 or 7 days and just be completely self-contained. And with this, this rig is not just my overlanding rig, it's also my office for doing my photography and video work. So that's another reason I'm not trying to build a crazy extreme trail rig. This rig actually gets valeted. It's got valeted his work, you know, so I want it to be a rig that looks nice and presentable if I pull up to a 5-star restaurant. But it also, I work out of it. If I need to charge camera batteries, drone batteries, anything, again, I have my Anchor Solix right there. I can plug up anything I need. It's got plenty of power. Again, it charges off the solar, so it stays charged. This is a 1000. I really do wish I had a 2000, but the problem is this is the only one that the 12-volt cigarette lighter thing is in the side. It's in this side over here. The rest of them, that socket is in the front. And I like clean because of my compulsive disorder, my, what do you call it? Yeah. And I don't want a cable sticking out the front. I like it nice and clean and like this. And I keep it strapped down in case there's an accident. I have these big, huge straps on it to keep it locked down so it's not going anywhere.
This is really
And my fire extinguisher over here, and a fire extinguisher up in the cab. And this Xterra's even got the original first aid kit. It's got the bag, but I put a different first aid kit in it, like a big, more extravagant one than what was stock, but it's still got the stock bag, which most of these older Xterras don't have it. But if you don't have it, I think you can find them on eBay. And then I have a bag here that's got all of my cables. I keep all of my cables and everything in this bag here. My charging cables, chargers. I have a shovel here. Pretty much everything I need for overlanding. All right, guys, I think that'll do it. Like I said, I've had tons of questions about this truck, really about the back of the truck and my orange box setup. So again, for everybody that's asking, it's orange box. That's what the fabrication is, or that's what the Molly set is, and it's for an Xterra. And I didn't even know you can get them. Rockstera makes a couple of panels that'll go in the windows, and that's what I had to begin with. And they're nice, but I wanted a full Molly panel system that you can get for the Toyotas and you can get for the Broncos and stuff like that. The one thing I will say is for the Nissan Xterra is you're not gonna have as much accessories. You don't have the aftermarket accessories for the Xterra is like you do the Toyotas and the Broncos and stuff. But as you can see, you really do have enough to get whatever you need now for an Xterra. And you can buy an Xterra for like $5 grand that's in really great shape. And there's 100,000 mile clubs, 200,000 mile clubs, all the way up to 400,000 mile clubs on the Xterras. And if you're in the Xterra group on Facebook, you will see every now and then one of the members posting in there, hey, I just hit the 400,000 mile club. If you get one of these trucks that's before, you have to worry about the old radiators on the earlier versions of like the 2005 to 2010, I believe, is the radiators need to be changed out because it can leak and kill your transmission. You get the milkshake of death. And then the other thing is the sensors. There's 3 different sensors. I can't even remember what they're, mass airflow sensors, or I can't remember what they're called. There's 2 and then there's 1. I got them off Rock Auto for like 140 bucks, had them all changed. I came out one day and this thing just wouldn't start. You come to find out once you change those sensors, you're good to go. You know, but this truck's got a timing chain. The timing chain guides will wear out and you'll have to do the guides. It's not cheap and it's not an easy job. But, you know, the Land Cruisers have to be done like at every 100,000 miles and they just have a belt. So it's just one of those things that you're gonna get. But like I said, I think these are very overlooked for building into off-road vehicles. Now, the one thing I will say is almost everybody will tell you you can't lift these more than 2 inches because of the IFS front suspension. You do have to change the upper control arms or you'll get cold bucket contact. The way the front end are designed on these, that's why you don't see many of them lifted, because the upper control arms that I bought, I'll show them to you right here. They are All Dogs Off-Road, and I think they were pretty close. These were the heavy duty ones. You can't even really see them. But they were, I think, 600 bucks or something like that. If I had it to do over again, I would buy the Z1 off-road ones because they look way cooler, but they're even more expensive. So that's why I went with the All Dogs, because I spent everything on the Bilstein 5100 lift and all the shocks and everything, and the Atta Leaf in the back. It's got a 2.5-inch spacer in the front. I know everybody bitches and complains about that because you don't get the down travel. Again, this is just an overlanding vehicle. It's not a trail rig. If it was a trail rig, I'd try to get the Fox with the, you know, the reservoir shocks and all that, but I'm not running any crazy trails on this. The reason I haven't Titan swapped it is the same reason. And I've driven thousands of miles with this setup the way it is right here. So people say you have to Titan swap them to get them lifted. you really don't. This truck has been 4 years now sitting like it is, and this is my second or third trip to Dallas. Yeah, so I've been from California all over with this the way it is right now. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.